Well, good afternoon and welcome to Valkyrie basketball on BFSD events here. We're live from Troy, Montana at Troy High School. Well, the Valkyries are getting ready to take on the Lady Trojans here. Tipping off just a little bit early. We're scheduled to tip off at 4 o'clock, probably tip off about 5 or 10 minutes early. It's senior night, or senior day here in Troy, Montana. I'm introduced all their seniors, basketball players, band, and girls basketball. So it's a matchup in conference between the Bigfork Valkyries are 2-2 in conference and 6-8 overall. And Troy 0-3 in conference and 1-11 overall. It shows there. Exciting game if you missed it on Thursday night as the Valkyries beat the Ronan Maidens 56-54. Held on late. They were up by 2, and then Santa Steva gets fouled, goes to the free throw line, makes both of them. And Ronan put the ball up, missed it, and on the rebound there, Bigfork had the basketball but turned it over, and Ronan was able to score with about 12 seconds to go, called the timeout. Bigfork inbounded the ball, tried to take up the right side, threw it out of bounds, and gave Ronan an opportunity. Down by 2 with about 3 seconds, 3.1 to be exact, left in the ball game. And the pass intended for Hoagland was high, and Emma Barrett able to come up with it and run out the clock, and the Valkyries with a nice win, 56-54 over Class A Ronan Thursday night. A few players out today. Ashton McAnally is out today, as well as Jordan Nelson, a starter, and injured in the last ball game for Bigfork was Quinn Nissen, so she's on crutches and out as well for the Vals in this test here in Troy. James LaFontaine with you, the voice of the Vikes and the Vals from Troy, Montana. On BFSD events on YouTube, you can catch all the action right here. 406-270-7384. Text me, let me know that you are listening and tuning in this afternoon for the ball game. We got about 3:45 here in the afternoon, and the clock winding down. 5 minutes to go left in warm-ups, and then we'll have this ball game for you. Your starters, first of all, for Troy, it'll be number 3, a 5'4" senior guard, Annie Day. A 5'3" senior guard, number 14, Emily Ramirez. Also, number 15 is a 6'1" junior post, Ella Pierce. 5'9" and a guard at a post, junior, Caitlin Talmadge. And a 5'5" junior guard, number 25, Isabel Ramirez. For the Valkyries, starting today with some of their starters out, it'll be number 11, Emma Barrett, the freshman at 5'8", playing guard and forward. Heidi Schneller, usually running the point, a senior at 5'3", number 12. Rakaya Grindy back in the lineup at 5'8", senior, guard center, number 23. 24 is Ansley Edgerton, a 5'8" forward and center, junior. And finally, rounding out the lineup for Jamie Grindy is a 5'6" junior forward center. 5'7" guard and forward, junior, number 33, Isabella Stantis-Steven. Those are your starters today for head coach Jamie Grindy, assisted by Courtney Gunlock, Jim Blogue, Jason Grindy, and Brandy Couture. The head coach for Troy is Bradley Dunmeyer, and assisted by Jordan Graves. Well, the JV boys walked away with a big win earlier, and I understand the girls won. JV won 18-3 in a low-scoring ball game. The big boys in JV are off to catch that final for you. I believe it was like 79-28 was the final in that ball game. So the Vikings JV boys winning big this afternoon. We're back momentarily, and we'll have the tip-off of this ball game live from Troy, Montana. James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and Vals, with you. Be back. Hey, once again, welcome back to Troy, Montana, Troy High School, and Senior Day. It is the Valkyries up first as they take on, the Lady Trojans. And you'll have to excuse me this afternoon. My voice is a little under the weather, as I am, so a little scratchy. So if I turn the mic off for a minute to cough, so I don't cough in your ear, that's the reason. Anyway, James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and the Vals, with you from Troy, Montana, Troy High School. And they're getting ready to introduce the starting lineups for both the Lady Trojans and the Valkyries. So text me, 406-270-7384. Let me know that you're tuning in today. So we're live.
At this time, we would ask you to please rise, remove your hats.
So we're going to do the national anthem. We're going to stay right here for that. And once again, tune in BFSD events. And we'll catch the Valkyries up first, and followed by the Vikings after this ball game. Presentation of the colors by the cheerleaders for Troy, and then we'll have the national anthem. All right, the colors being presented by the cheerleaders and the Troy High School Pep Band playing the national anthem here this afternoon. Just about ready for tip-off. And the Valkyries starting. Emma Barrett, the freshman for Bigfork. Schneller, the senior.
Number 23,
Grendy, the senior. Good to have her back from all her health issues. Edgerton, the junior, and also junior Isabella Sanesteven, who could really shoot it from the three-point range. So the girls are having to adjust as the season has gone on. First of all, when they got ready to go this early in the season, it was going to be Rakaya running everything through her. Then she got really sick and had health issues, was out until towards the end of January. Good to have her back, and they're going to have to adjust with her on the court. But her senior leadership, playing for 4 years here for a Bigfork, is key. I think, yeah, just got to get used to playing each other, and they'll get better as they get ready for the postseason. Eureka's out in front, and they're going to take the 7B district, so they'll go to the #1 seed, and it looks like Bigfork should probably go in as a 2 seed in that divisional tournament that will come up in February, which we are just barely in us. February being February 2nd. And that'll be the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd down in Ronan. So we'll see how that matches up and how and who they play. But they got to take care of business. They have today's game and then 3 more games after that. They will host Polson on Thursday at home. The Lady Pirates out of Class A. They'll come up and visit. And then on Saturday, it is a Class B divisional rival and non-conference against Anaconda, who they beat earlier in the year in Anaconda before Christmas. And then they wrap things up at Thompson Falls, taking on the Lady Blue Hawks on the 16th. And we'll have both that game as well as the Vikings game on BFSD events. Here we go for the tip. Edgerton tipping it up against Ella Pierce and Bigfork with the basketball. Schneller at the top of the key. In the corner, Santa Steven, 3-point shot on the way is good. A good start for the Valkyries as Isabella on the right side puts it up and in. Number 3, Annie Day, top of the key, swings it over to Talmadge. Talmadge out to Day, to Ramirez. Isabella Ramirez, stolen away by Santa Steven. Santa Steven will bring it across the timeline, top of the key. Looks over, finds Edgerton underneath. Edgerton kicks it out. Santa Steven over to shot on the way by Kaya Grindy. 3-point shot is good, and 2 for 2 on the Valkyries, and 6-0 on your Harvest Foods scoreboard. Thanks to Harvest Foods, one of our sponsors, along with UPS Store. Ramirez the basketball being guarded down to Ella Pierce. Pierce out front. Ramirez grabs it, and Schneller reaches in and fouls. That'll be her first foul and first team foul on the Valkyries. Day to inbound for Troy. Into Talmadge. Talmadge top of the key, guarded by Grindy. Stolen by Grindy. Talmadge gets on the ground, gives it up to Day. Day, left-handed, goes up, blocked by Edgerton. And Heidi Schneller will bring it up the right side. Looks to the corner. Grindy. Grindy kicks it out. Underneath to Edgerton. Edgerton kicks it out to Schneller. Schneller, 3-point shot on the way. Can they go 3 for 3? No, off the rim. And rebounded by Troy by Emily Ramirez. Out to Day. Day over to Ramirez on the right side. And she looks underneath. Pressure by, and stolen away by Edgerton. They get on the floor. It'll be a held ball. It'll be Troy basketball on the first held ball of the ball game. So they'll tug it out underneath. And Day will take it out for Troy. Inbound the far corner over to Talmadge. Talmadge, left side, kicks it in Day, knocked away by Bigfork. And Santa Steven will come up with a loose ball, kicks it over to Schneller. Schneller in the backcourt, guarded by Day. Across the timeline, still in the front court, kicks it over to Santa Steven. Santa Steven fakes the 3-point shot, back out to Schneller. Schneller underneath. Had Edgerton open momentarily, but stolen away by Troy. Number 14, Emily Ramirez, and a foul on Bigfork. That's the first foul on Edgerton, and second team foul. Inbounded to Day. Day guarded by Schneller, knocked out of bounds. It'll remain Troy basketball with 5:49 on your Harvest Food scoreboard. 6-0 the Valkyries lead. Day inbounding to Talmadge. Looking to go in the backcourt. I've been over. Feeds it out to Day. Day on the right side. Throws up a shot off the rim. Rebounded by Santa Steven. Along with Ella Pierce, ties it up. And possession arrow, Troy's point, towards Bigfork. 406-270-7384. Let me know that you're listening out there. Schneller over to Rakaya Grindy in the front court. Feeds it over to Santa Steven on the left side. Fakes the 3-point shot out to Schneller. Schneller to Grindy. Over to Emma Barrett on the right side. Barrett looks underneath, finds Grindy. Grindy looking underneath on the right side. Kicks it out to Emma Barrett. Loses it out of bounds, does Barrett. And it will be Troy basketball with 5:12 to go. Day dribbling it up, knocked away by Schneller from behind. And Santa Stevens going to reach in, trying to steal it away. And that'll be her first and third team foul already on Bigfork. Bigfork being aggressive, putting the pressure on. That worked really well against Ronan the other night. Day inbounded. Stolen away by Edgerton. Edgerton gives it up to Schneller. Schneller with left hand all the way up and no good. But right there is Bigfork. And it'll be a held ball, looks like, as Barrett grabs it and tied up by Troy. And possession arrow is towards Troy. And Talmadge inbound to Day. Day up the left side. Gets the Edgerton, picks it up, and is going to dribble with the basketball. Taken away by Troy, and she travels. That's a good call by the official. She's trying to pass it, and Bigfork kind of grabs it and turnover. As number 10, Meredith Bedford, will come in the ball game for the Valkyries with 4:45 to go here in the first quarter, and the Valkyries leaving their Harvest Food scoreboard 6-0. Inbound, Barrett. Schneller out on the left side to Meredith Bedford. Bedford to Schneller. Kicks it over the corner with Kaya Grendy on the far left side. Tries to throw it underneath to Bedford and knocked away by Troy. Stolen. And out as Troy tries to save it from out of bounds. Ella Pierce, and she'll bounce it on the sideline and out of bounds off of Troy. It'll be Bigfork basketball. Bedford into Schneller. Over to Barrett on the right side. Back to Schneller, to Bedford. Kaya Grendy looking, trying to find Edgerton underneath. He's stolen away by Day. Day up the right side, kicks it underneath to Talmadge. Talmadge trying to go up, and she's going to get fouled on the play, and she'll get 2 free throws. As the foul's on number 11, that's Emma Barrett, and that is her first and the 4th team foul on Bigfork. And checking in the ball game for the Valkyries, number 14, Audrey Benz, and number 30, Sailor Martins, and returning is number 33, Isabella Santa Stevens. Inbound. Day to Talmadge, up for 2, score it, 6-2, the Valkyries lead. Grendy at the top of the key, takes across the timeline against Day. Looking underneath, finds Bedford, over to Benz. Benz finds Bedford in the corner. Bedford feeds Martins. Martins out to Bedford, but over her head and out of bounds. It'll be turnover on the Valkyries with 3:47 to go here in the first quarter on your Harvest Food scoreboard. 6-2, the Valkyries lead. Inbound today from Talmadge. Troy in the backcourt guarded by Benz. Benz hounding her. Kick it away and stolen. Bedford comes up with a loose ball. Gives it up to Benz. Benz dribble up the right side, guarded by Day. Brings it out. Looking to drive. And Benz with the basketball. Feeds it over to Santa Stevens, just inside the three-point line. Shot up and no good, but Benz will come up the rebound top of the key. Feeds it inside to Sailor Martins, out to Santa Stevens. Santa Stevens three-point shot up from the left wing and good for 3 for Santa Stevens. 9-2, the Valkyries lead. Day across the timeline. Throws it, has Talmadge wide open underneath. Nobody around her. Puts the shot up, no good. Martins comes down with the rebound, gives it to Grendy. Grendy across the timeline, gives it to Bedford. Bedford driving straight in, kicks it out to Santa Stevens. Santa Stevens looking to drive, kicks it out to Grendy, top of the key. Grendy setting things up, going to slow things down for the Valkyries. Kicks it over to Benz. Benz on the right side, looks over to Santa Stevens. Santa Stevens whips it to Bedford, but off of Meredith's hands and out of bounds. It'll be turnover to Troy as Edgerton comes back in for the Valkyries. With 2:40 to go, Ramirez and Talise Beckcourt in the ball game is fouled from behind by Audrey Benz. That's Audrey Benz first and 5th team foul. Beckcourt inbounding, nearly stolen away there by Benz. Beckcourt dribbling right side, putting the pressure top of the key, and nearly stolen by Bedford. And Pierce will come up with it, feeds it to Talmadge, and out of bounds is knocked away and out of bounds by Edgerton. And so Bigfork putting on the pressure. And it'll be Troy basketball on the sideline as Beckcourt will take it out of bounds. Looking to find Pierce. Gets it to Talmadge on the top right side. Tries to kick it. Stolen away, knocked away, and picked up by Bedford. She turns it over right to Pierce. Puts up a shot. Martins rebounds it to Bedford, to Santa Stephen. Kicks it over to Bedford. Bedford top of the key to Benz on the left side. Benz kicks it over. Santa Stephen in the corner. Up to Martins. Martins throws it up and no good. As she was fed there by Edgerton. And Martins will go to the line and Saylor will get 2 shots on the foul. As the foul is called on number 15, Ella Pierce. That's the first team foul here in the first half on Troy. And Saylor Martins will get 2 shots. First shot off the left side of the rim and no good. Checking in, number 22, Emma Johnson for Troy. And looks like Emma Barrett along with Heidi Schneller return for Bigfork. Second free throw on the way, nothing but the bottom of the net by Martins, and 10-2 on your Harvest Food scoreboard. And Bigfork will take a timeout. A 30-second timeout called by the Valkyries with 1:53 to go here in the first quarter, and the Valkyries lead the Lady Trojans 10-2 on your Harvest Foods Bigfork scoreboard. From Troy, Montana, we'll be back momentarily with the rest of the first quarter and the ball game. All right, welcome back to Troy, Montana. Schneller, along with Barrett, Martins, Edgerton, and Santa Stephen in the lineup for Bigfork with 1:52 and counting. Day brings it across the timeline, guarded by Schneller. Feeds it out to Beckcourt. Beckcourt, the left-hander, three-point shot, up and no good. And out of bounds as Thomas tries to save it for Troy, but she's on the end line. It'll be Bigfork basketball, 1:38 to go here in the first quarter. Schneller into Barrett, back to Schneller. Schneller across the timeline. Looks to go in the corner, feeds it up to Santa Stephen. Three-point shot on the way by Santa Stephen, and she's good. That is 3 for Santa Stephen. And 13-2 on the Harvest Food scoreboard. The Valkyries lead today from Talmadge. Back to Day. Day dribbles it up. Shot up and short, misses it. And out of bounds, they call it off Bigfork. It'll be Troy basketball as Rakaya Grindy returns for Saylor Martins. And she'll be back in the ball game for Bigfork. It'll be Troy basketball underneath. Tries to feed it out. Santa Stephen had position, and she's going to be fouled by Talmadge. It'll be Bigfork basketball on the sideline, as that's their second team foul, and the first foul on Caitlin Talmadge for Troy. Inbound, Barrett will dribble over to the left side. Finds Edgerton in the corner. Thought about shooting the three. Pulls it back. Feeds it out to Schneller. Schneller left side. Finds Edgerton. Edgerton looking. Grabs the basketball. Dribbles. Sits out to Schneller. Schneller on the drive. Up and out the rim. And good off the backboard by Heidi Scheller. And 15-2. The Valkyries lead. Beckcourt in the front court. Guarded by Santa Stephen on the left side. And Isabel Ramirez sets a nice screen, and Santa Stephen just runs her over. That's going to be Santa Stephen's second and 16th foul on the Valkyries here in the first quarter. One more will put Troy in the bonus. Inbounded to Beckcourt with 40 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Beckcourt, top of the key, looks underneath, knocked away, nearly stolen as Santa Stephen tips it off of Grindy and out of bounds. It'll be Troy, the Lady Trojans basketball underneath the basket with Day inbounding for Troy. Inbounded Beckcourt. Beckcourt thought about shooting the shot, pulls it out to Day. Day from three-point range, nothing, misses everything. Rakaya Grindy with the rebound up the right side. She can take it all the way, and she feeds it to Santa Stevens off the rim and no good, but the rebound come up with by Day for Troy. Backcourt up the court with 16, 15 counting. Backcourt drives it all the way out the left hand. By the left-hander, it's good. And 15-4, Schneller with 6.2, feeds Edgerton. Edgerton can't handle the pass, out of bounds. It'll be Troy basketball with 5.1 to go here in the first quarter. Talmadge inbounding to backcourt, the backcourt. Up to Day. To Talmadge, throws it up there and nowhere close. Ramirez spins around, throws it up. 1 quarter in the book. The Valkyries lead 15-4 on your Harvest Foods, the Bigfork scoreboard. Live from Troy High School here in Troy, Montana. The voice of the Vikes of the Vals, James LaFontaine with you. 406-270-7384. Text me. Let me know that you're catching the ball game. We'll be back here with the second quarter momentarily from Troy, Montana. All right, welcome back to Troy, Montana. Second quarter about to get underway. It'll be Bigfork basketball to start the second quarter. Schneller inbound to Santa Stephen. Santa Stephen across the timeline. Top of the key over to Rakaya Grindy on the right side, on the right wing. Out to Barrett. Barrett kicks it over to Santa Stephen in the corner. Schneller. Schneller looking to drive. Kicks it to Grindy. Grindy. Right side. Kicks it. Throws it. Trying to hit Schneller. And thrown away. Picked up by Talmadge. Up to Day for Troy. Troy dribble up sideline. And that'll be a foul on Bigfork. So that puts Troy in the 1-and-1. Yeah, that's a foul. That's a second foul on Heidi Schneller. And the 17th foul on Bigfork at the line. Annie Day getting to shoot a 1-and-1 for the Lady Trojans. First shot up and good. And Day will get one more for the Lady Trojans, who are already in the bonus. Off the rim and no good, and Edgerton grabs the rebound. A strong rebound by Edgerton. Feeds it up to Grindy. Grindy cuts timeline. Over to Schneller on the left side. Back out to Grindy, top of the key. Grindy looking, kicks it over to Barrett. Barrett throws it across Schneller and picked off by Troy. Comes up, Annie Day comes up with it, dribbles across the timeline. And Barrett knocks it away and out of bounds. From Day, it'll remain Troy basketball with 7:16 to go here until halftime. Day inbound to backcourt. Backcourt looking to find Day, tipped away by Barrett, and out of bounds. It'll be Troy basketball underneath with 7:10 to go. 15-5, the Valkyries lead the Lady Trojans on your Harvest Foods and Bigfork scoreboard. Day to inbounds. Feeds it into backcourt. Backcourt trapped by Schneller. And off of Heidi Schneller, out of bounds. It'll be Troy basketball on the sideline just by the Bigfork bench. And Day will inbound for Troy. Gets it into Ramirez. Ramirez tries shot. Talmadge picks off the rebound on the missed shot. And puts it up and in. And Schneller quickly across the timeline. Edgerton left side. Back out to Schneller, top of the key. Schneller looking to drive. Kicks it over to Emma Barrett. In the quarter to Rakaya Grindy on the right side. Grindy looking underneath. Back to Schneller, top of the key. Schneller over to Santa Stephen. 3-point shot on the way. Off the rim and no good, but Rakaya Grindy goes down and grabs the rebound. Kicks it over. Barrett shot. 3-point land is good by Emma Barrett. And 18-7 on your Harvest Foods scoreboard. The Valkyries lead. Day up to backcourt. Puts the left-handed, switches it to the right, puts it off the backboard, and good for Troy. A nice shot there by Talise backcourt. Up quickly, Barrett, 3-point shot in the way, and she's going to get 3 free throws as Schneller finds Emma Barrett in the far right corner, and Barrett puts it up quickly and is fouled in a play, and she'll get 3 free throws as she's fouled on 3-point shot. Barrett's shot misses the rim but hits the backboard. She gets 2 more. All the way from Colorado, somebody listening in. Let me know who this is listening in from Colorado. As number 15, Ella Pierce, returns the lineup for Troy. And Emma makes 1 of 3, 19-9. Inbounded today. Trapped in the backcourt. Bigfork putting on the pressure. Grundy knocks it away from Ramirez over to Day. And up to backcourt. Up and stolen away by Rakaya. Grundy gives up to Barrett. Barrett's going to take it all the way up under and makes the left-handed layup. Is good by Emma Barrett. And 21-9, the Valkyries lead. Pressure in the backcourt by the Valkyries. Ramirez looking for Day. And Troy will take a timeout as they're trapped in the backcourt. 5:48 to go to, excuse me, you have to forgive me. 5:48 to go to halftime, and the Valkyries lead in the Harvest Food scoreboard 21-9. We'll be back more here momentarily. Shelly Edgerton listening in the ball game from Colorado as the Valkyries lead 21-9 here with 5:48 to go to halftime. We'll take a break momentarily. Back rest of the second quarter. Excuse me, a little cold. Troy inbounding Talmadge in today in the backcourt. Pressure put on by Bigfork. Did a nice job the other night when they took that to Ronan and got back in the ball game. Were able to take the lead and win that ball game. Up to the right side of Beckcourt. Beckcourt trying to dribble right into Martins, who's in the ball game for Bigfork, along with Benz. And it'll be off of Bigfork as Edgerton knocks it out of bounds. Day will take it out of bounds under their own basket for Troy. Troy inbounding to Beckcourt. Beckcourt on the left side gives it out to Day. Day back to Beckcourt. Beckcourt looking to drive. Taken away by Martins. And up to Benz. Benz going to dribble across the timeline out the right side. Benz feeds it over to Santa Steven, ready to shoot. 3-point shot on the way is good. Splashed down by Santa Steven. That is 4 threes by Isabella Santa Steven. And Day throws it over to Talmadge and taken away by Rakaya Grundy. Grundy across the timeline, left side. Look to kick it out. She kicks it under at Martins. Just a little bit too tall for Saylor. And Beckcourt will come up the left side for Troy. Beckcourt today, top of the key. Day's shot on the way, no good. And Talmadge comes up with it, dribbles it on the end line and out of bounds. It'll be Bigfork basketball. 4:45 to go here till halftime. And the Valkyries lead 24-9 on their Harvest Food scoreboard. Bedford, Schneller, Barrett return to the lineup for Bigfork. And Benz, Grundy, and Santa Steven will go out for Bigfork. Isabella having a great first half. Barrett, top of the key. Feeds it over to Edgerton. Edgerton, 3-point shot on the way. Oh, she brings down Snow and splashes it down from 3-point range for Ansley Edgerton. Edgerton steals it on the pass intended for Day. Up and layup is good. 29-9 with 4:25 and counting. The backcourt pressure. Ramirez over to Day. Day looking to Talmadge. Talmadge dribbles across the timeline, right side. And Barrett is going to reach in but get called for the foul for Bigfork. And that'll be Talmadge back to the line in a one-on-one opportunity. Has the 8th team foul. And second on Emma Barrett. So Talmadge will be at the line shooting one-on-one. That'll bring Grundy back in the ball game as Barrett picks up her second with 4:11 to go here in the first half. Talmadge shot off, no good. Rebound by Sailor Martins. Nice job, box it out by Sailor. Gives it up to Bedford. Bedford, top of the key, feeds it out to Schneller. Over to Grendy. Grendy on the left side, down in the corner, bigs out to Schneller. Schneller on the left side, looks underneath, finds Sailor Martins. Martins out to Grendy. Grendy's shot is no good, but Bedford comes up with the rebound. Schneller. Edgerton, three-point shot on the way, off the rim, no good, but Grendy right there puts it up and the backboard, and good by Rakaya Grendy. The basket will count, and she gets an opportunity to make a three-point play the old-fashioned way as she goes to the line to shoot the and one. So Grendy at the line, 31-9, the Valkyries lead. Grendy shot up and good, three-point play for Bigfork the old-fashioned way. Beckcourt will come back in the ball game because that was a third personal on Talmadge for Troy. 32-9 on your Harvest Food scoreboard. Into Day over to Beckcourt. Beckcourt across the timeline, turns it over, but no. Out there by Johnson. And turnover by Troy. It'll be Bigfork basketball with 3:34 to go here in the first half. Inbound to Bedford, back to Schneller. Schneller will bring it across the timeline, feeds it over to Bedford. Bedford looking, finds Edgerton on the left side, left wing. Feeds it over to Bedford. Bedford in the corner to Grendy. Grendy dribbles out, right wing to Bedford. Back out to Grendy. Bedford, three-point shot from the right corner is off the rim and no good. Rebounded by Ramirez, up to Dave. For Troy, she'll dribble up into the front court. And stolen away by Bedford. Bedford comes up with it, gives it to Grendy. Grendy in the backcourt will bring it across the timeline and slow things down for Bigfork. Over to Schneller on the right side to Sailor Martin. Sailor Martin shot up and good. No good, off the rim. And they're going to call a player control foul on Sailor Martins. And that will be her first and 19th foul. No free throws on that, as Benz and Santa Stephen will return for the Valkyries. Inbound to Day from Johnson. Day in the backcourt, hounded by Bigfork. Schneller all over. Schneller's going to get called. This is going to be double bonus time for Troy. And they're going to get to shoot two. So it is called to number 14, Audrey Benz. That is Audrey's second. And it's a double bonus time, so Annie Day will go to the line to get two. A double bonus time for Troy. Yeah, off the rim, back of the rim, and no good. Emma Barrett with two fouls will come back in, replacing Benz. With 2:46 to go to halftime, the Valkyries lead 32-9 on their Harvest Food scoreboard. Second shot up is good by Day. 32-10. Grendy with the basketball. We'll bring it across the timeline. Grendy looking. Finds Santa Stevens, top of the key. Out by the half court. Santa Stevens feeds it over to Schneller. Schneller can't handle it. Pass a little bit too tall for Heidi Schneller. And out of bounds, it'll be Troy basketball. Underneath. Feeds it into Day. Day. As Bigfork is trapping in the backcourt, a lot of pressure. Up to Ramirez. Ramirez feeds it up and stolen away by Grendy. Grendy with the basketball, going to dribble up the right side. She's looking down the court, looking to find somebody open. And she'll bring it up to the right side, look to the corner. Back out to Schneller. Schneller around the top of the key, guarded by Day. Schneller feeds it over to Santa Stephen. Santa Stephen passes her just a bit high. And Santa Stephen can't come up with it. Turnover by Bigfork. It'll be Troy basketball. And timeout will be taken by Troy. And it looks like a full timeout will be called by the Lady Trojans with 2:10 to go here till halftime. And the Valkyries are leading on your Harvest Foods and Bigfork scoreboard 32-10. We'll be back in 1 minute with the rest of the first half from Troy, Montana, and Troy High School. All right, welcome back here to Troy High School here in Troy, Montana. James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and Vals with you. It is the Valkyries leading 32-10 with 2:10 to go here left in the first half over the Lady Trojans. Barrett nearly takes it away, intended for backcourt, but out of bounds. It'll remain Troy basketball. They'll take it out underneath the Bigfork basket on the far end in the backcourt. Feeds it up right to Meredith Bedford. Is a pass by Day, kicks it out. Grindy, shot from the right elbow is good by Rakaya Grindy. That's good to see. Rakaya can splash those down. The Valkyries looking good, 34-10. Day dribbles it up, Schneller on the guarding her. Over to Ramirez. Ramirez out to Beckcourt. Beckcourt top of the key. Looking to set something up, feeds it over to Johnson. Johnson loses it. Out to Day. Day comes up with the loose ball. Out to Beckcourt, top of the key. Nearly stolen there by Bigfork. Beckcourt will dribble down the left side. Grindy cuts her off. And Johnson's taken away by Emma Barrett. Emma Barrett has got to beat Johnson. Finds Santa Steven. Santa Steven up. Left-handed shot up and good by Isabella Santa Steven. I got her for about 14 points here in the first half. 36-10 on your Harvest Food scoreboard. The Valkyries lead. Beckcourt driving all the way down left-handed off the rim. No good. Stella will come up with the rebound. Drives up the left side, guarded by Day. Schnella looking to drive all the way, finds Santa Steven underneath. Santa Steven goes up, and she's fouled. She'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2 for Bigfork with 1:07 to go. Yeah, it's just the 15th foul on Troy, and the first personal on number 22, Emma Johnson. And to the line, Santa Steven will get 2 shots for Bigfork. First shot is up and good. Big first half by Isabella. Audrey Benz returning to the lineup with 1:07 to go here till halftime, replacing Heidi Schneller, the senior, and Santa Steven will get 1 more. Off the front of the rim, Grindy nearly comes up with it. Bedford fighting for it. Out today for Troy across the timeline. And Benz right there to guard her. Out to Beckcourt. Beckcourt looking to drive left side. Trapped by Barrett, and Benz slipping away, throwing right to Santa Stevens. Santa Stevens will come up with it, and she's fouled. It'll be Bigfork basketball with 49.9 and 16 fouls on Troy. The next one will put him in the bonus. 1-1 for Bigfork. Into Benz. Benz will dribble up into the front court. Audrey Benz looking. Feeds it underneath. Bedford up, and she's fouled as she goes up for the shot. And she'll be fouled by number 1, Talise Beckcourt for Troy. 17 foul in the first on Beckcourt, and to the line with Meredith Bedford will go, and she'll get to shoot 2 as she was shooting in that process. Up and nothing but the bottom of the net by Meredith Bedford. To say that Izzy was at the line earlier, and she drained 2 key ones against Ronan the other night to put them up by 4, and it enabled the Valkyries to win that ball game Thursday night. She makes the second one, 39-10. Into Day. Beckcourt. Day looking for Beckcourt. Looked like she traveled there. They didn't call it. Ramirez with the basketball puts it up. Off the rim and no good. And Rakaya Grindy is right there. Nearly comes up with the rebound. Knocked out of bounds by Beckcourt. It'll be Bigfork basketball. 23.7 to go here in the first half. And they lead 39-10 on your Harvest Foods and Bigfork scoreboard. Bedford, top of the key. Nearly loses it, gives it over to Emma Barrett. Barrett finds Santa Steven. That's a good choice. Santa Steven feeds it out to Schneller. Barrett. Bedford. Bedford, 3-point shot from the left side. Good. Off the rim and no good. Nearly come up by Santa Stevens. Johnson comes up with it. Day has the basketball, and the clock will run out here in the first half. And your Bigfork Valkyries, 39. The Troy Lady Trojans, 10. Here in the first half from Troy, Montana. And Troy High School. I'll get your halftime stats and come back with you. A big first half by Isabella Santa Stevens. I got her 4 3-pointers and 2 other baskets. That would give her 16, but I'll check that. I'll get your halftime stats here momentarily and be back with you from Troy, Montana, Troy High School. Once again, on the Harvest Foods and Bigfork scoreboard. The Valkyries 39, the Troy Lady Trojans 10. All right, welcome back to Troy High School, Troy, Montana. James LaFontaine with you. The voice of the Vikes and the Vals. Matt P. out there listening. Yeah, I'm sorry, folks, if I sound a little bit hoarse or whatever. My voice is kind of a little under the weather, but still bringing you the games. We'll get to halftime stats. Talise Beckcourt has 4 for Troy. Annie Day, 2 of 4 on free throws, so she has 2. 4 by Caitlin Thomas, usually their leader. And a total of 10 at halftime. And for the Valkyries, like I thought, lead the way. Isabella Stana-Stevens had 4 threes in the first half, another 2-pointer, and then 1 for 2 from the line. So she has 15 of the 39 at halftime, having a big ball game. She's ready to shoot the ball when she gets it, which is, I think, key to her game. Ansley Edgerton has 5. Rakaya competed that, shot a 3 and made a 3, and then 3-point play the old-fashioned way. So she has 8 at halftime, 2 by Heidi Steller. And Emma Barrett made 2 threes and 1 for 3 from the free throw line. So she has 7, and then 2 for 2 is Meredith Petzer at the free throw line. So she has 2 points, a total of 39. The Valkyries came out, had 15 in the first quarter, and then put up 24, a big number in the second quarter as they put on the pressure on Troy and caused some turnovers and got some easy buckets by the Valkyries. So they're playing well today, and they'll have to keep that going for the rest of the year as they host the Lady Pirates on Thursday at home in that ball game. Then they'll host Anaconda, the Lady Copperheads, on the following Saturday. That'll be the 9th. So the 7th and 9th, Valkyries are at home. And then the final ball game will be at Thompson Falls, taking on the Lady Blue Hawks, coming up on the 16th. And we'll have that game for you on BFSD events on YouTube. So a great first half by the Valkyries, shooting the ball well, coming out, ready to play. We'll be back with your tip-off of the second half. I shouldn't say tip-off, because they don't tip in the second half, but we'll be back with the second half here from Troy, Montana. 406-270-7384. Text me, you know you're listening. This is the voice of the Vikes and the Vals, James LaFontaine with you from Troy, Montana. We'll be back with the second half momentarily. Well, looks like Hogan is listening from Alaska. So we got people from Colorado, Alaska, Montana. Thanks for listening in. somebody else. Well, the halftime stats brought to you by the UPS store at 439 Grand Avenue, or Grand Drive, if you will, in Bigfork, Montana. If you're looking for something your printing and shipping needs, go to the UPS store and say hi to Brad Stodchill and the gang. Thanks for sponsoring the game along with Harvest Foods, a Bigfork scoreboard. It's great that you guys do that so we can bring you this game. So thank you once again. And your postseason or post-game stats will also be brought to you by the the UPS store. So second half, Bigfork gets the basketball. Emma's grandma listening from Shosho. I think she means Shoto. But anyway, I'll get back to the game. Schneller got the basketball over to Barrett. Barrett, the right side, feeds it over to Santa Stevens. I think Troy's going to keep an eye on Santa Stevens. Grindy's shot up and good from the baseline for two, 41-10, as Grindy hits that jump shot for Bigfork. Day across the timeline, guarded by Schneller. Going to dribble to the right side, throws it away, intended for Johnson. Edgerton comes up with it, feeds it over to Grindy. Grindy up to Schneller. Schneller feeds it over to Grindy on the left side. Out to Schneller, top of the key. Schneller looking for Santa Stevens. Santa Stevens, three-point shot on the way. Oh, another one by Isabella Santa Stevens. She is on fire today for the Valkyries, as she drains another one. This one from the right elbow. She steals the ball, throws it back inside, right to Johnson for Troy. Johnson will throw it up, jumps off the wrong foot. Talmadge comes up the rebound, blocked by Edgerton, and Barrett will come up with it. Barrett dribbling up into the front court. Barrett looking, kicks it out to Grindy. Grindy on the left side, down to Barrett in the corner. Three-point shot on the way is good by Emma Barrett. Splash down, and 47-10 with 6:37 to go. Make that 6:36 to go as Troy, the Lady Trojans, will take a timeout. And the Valkyries stretch the lead as they hit a couple three-pointers, one by Santa Stevens, one by Barrett. And they lead 47-10 on your Harvest Foods of Bigfork scoreboard. So the Valkyries ready to shoot and ready to make them today. They're on fire. I tell you, Santa Stevens had 4 in the first half. That's 5 for the ball game. So she has 15 on 5 three-point shots already today. So looking, she's ready to shoot the ball, which is good to see because that really opens things up when she's able to do that. And then you get Edgerton going, Grindy, Barrett, and Schneller, and the Valkyries are going to be tough down the stretch. Not the same team that started the season by no means, so they're just going to get better as the season goes on, which is key. We're into February. We're starting to get towards the postseason, so they'll be a threat when it comes to divisional time coming up in February. Oh, Emma calls Grandma Shosho. Okay, it's Grandma Shosho. Huh? Okay, Day across the timeline for Troy. Throws it up to Ramirez. Ramirez shot off the rim and no good. And Ramirez's younger sister comes up with the rebound. Bigfork battling underneath with Troy. And it'll be off of backcourt and out of bounds. It'll be Bigfork basketball with 6:16 and counting here in the first half. Schneller up to Grindy on the left side, back out to Schneller. Schneller's top of the key, feeds it over to Santa Stevens. Santa Stevens to Schneller, top of the key. Feeds in the corner. Barrett's going to lots up another three. Off the rim, in and out, no good. A Day will come up the rebound for Troy. Over to backcourt on the right side, into the front court, guarded by Schneller. Throws it right to Barrett. Barrett wasn't ready for it. She gets it. Going to take it all the way to the basket, left-handed, and good by Emma Barrett. And 49-10. Day in the backcourt. Back to Day. Day will bring it across the timeline on the right side. Dribbles in the corner and throws it back door to Talmadge. Talmadge out to backcourt. Backcourt driving left side. Throws it up left-handed. Hits the back side of the backboard, and Barrett will come up with the rebound. Barrett feeds it up to Grindy. Grindy will bring it across the timeline. She'll set things up for the Valkyries. The senior guard. Over to Schneller. Out to Santa Stephen on the right wing. Out to Grindy. Three-point shot from the top of the key. Off the rim. No good. And Barrett's going to be called for the over the back. Yep, that's the third foul on Emma Barrett. And the first team foul on the Valkyries here in the second half. As Schneller and Barrett will take a seat. Bedford and Benz, who are doing a nice job, will come in the game for the Valkyries with 5 minutes and counting here in the third quarter, excuse me. Benz is guarding Day just a little bit too closely. They're going to call for a blocking foul. And that'll be Benz's third and second team foul here in the second half. 5:02. Day inbound to backcourt. Backcourt trapped in the corner on the right side. Dribbles off the foot of Grindy, so it'll be Troy basketball. Just under 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Day. Look at the inbound. And she's going to call for a 5-second violation as she doesn't get the ball in for Troy. Benz will inbound to Grindy. Grindy is going to bring it across the timeline for Bigfork, top of the key. Over to Benz. Benz looking, finds Grindy. Over to Bedford. In the corner, Santa Stephen, three-point shot on the way. Oh, that's number 6 by Isabella Santa Stephen. Here in this ball game at 52-10, the Valkyries lead the Lady Trojans. Ramirez in the corner, out to Day, stolen by Rakaya Grindy. Grindy looks up, finds Edgerton. Edgerton going to drive right in, and she's going to get fouled as she tries to take it up to the basket. And not sure if that was on the floor. We'll see. Yeah, that's on the floor as be fouls on number 14, Emily Ramirez, her second and first team foul. Bigfork will get it out underneath. Inbound, Grindy, top of the key, just in the free throw line. Inside the three-point line is good by Rakaya Grindy, and 54-10 with 4 minutes and counting here in the third quarter. Day, guarded by Benz. Feeds it inside, sold by Santa Stevens. Santa Stevens looking up the court, finds Grindy, and just a little bit too long for Rakaya. And Sailor Martins will come in the ball game and replace Ansley Edgerton for Bigfork. Talmadge into Day. Day across the timeline, looking to drive it in, throws it up and out of bounds, and no good by Day. And we have a running clock here, and the whistle blows. Timeout will be called by Troy, the Lady Trojans. And looks like he's calling a 30-second timeout. So 30 seconds. Timeout called by the Lady Trojans. And 3:21 to go here in the third quarter. And the Valkyries leading the Lady Trojans 54-10 on your Harvest Food, the Bigfork scoreboard. Unbelievable how Isabella Santa Stevens 6 threes in this ball game already. She's ready to shoot, and she's putting it up. And always said that she has a good shot. She just needs to be ready and shoot it when she gets the ball, and she's doing that today for the Valkyries, which is a good sign for Bigfork. And then Rakaya shooting well, along with Emma Barrett. You know, so good things happen. Okay, Rakaya Grindy up in the front court, feeds it down to Barrett. Barrett tries to save it out of bounds and steps on the end line. It'll be a turnover to Troy as the clock runs with just about 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Day up to the right side, feeds it to backcourt. Backcourt looking to drive, left-handed. Day, three-point shot on the way. She stepped on the line, so it's only worth 2. Grindy up to Santa Stevens. Santa Stevens in the right corner. Kicks it over to Sailor Martins, out to Grindy. Grindy, top of the key, finds Martins. Martins saves it out to Grindy. Nice save by Martins. Meredith Bender fakes the three-point shot, and she's going to get called for the traveling violation as she takes a step before she lays down the dribble, and that's a good call by the officials. Into Day. Day will bring it across the timeline for Troy. 2:24 counting. Day over to Talmadge. Talmadge back. And stolen away by Grindy. Grindy looking to go. Left side pulls up for jumper on the baseline, off the rim, and rebounded by Martins. Martins out to Grindy. Grindy will set things up for Bigfork, top of the key, over to Santa Stevens on the left side. Finds Audrey Benz, baseline. Benz feeds it into Martins. Nice pass. Martins goes up for the shot. She's fouled. She'll go to the free throw line and get to a nice pass there by Audrey Benz to feed Sailor Martins underneath. And that is the second personal on Emily Ramirez. Second team foul. Sailor Martins to the line, shooting 2 for the Valkyries. First shot is up and good by Sailor Martins. Heidi Schneller returns for the Valkyries, and returning for Troy will be number 22, Emma Johnson, as Santa Steven will take a seat and sit down and get a break here for Bigfork. Martins, second shot on the way, off the front of the rim, rebounded by Talmadge. Talmadge up to Day. Day will bring it across the timeline for Troy. Feeds it over to Thomas, top of the key. Thomas looking back door for Beckcourt. Beckcourt's shot off the backboard and good. 55-14 with 1:05 and counting here in the third quarter. Schneller over to Benz on the right side. Finds Grindy in the corner. Meredith Bedford fakes, goes up, finds Martins. Martins off the rim, off the backboard, and good by Sailor Martins. Way to move the basketball. Nice passing by the Valkyries. 57-14, 48 seconds and counting. Day with the basketball. Over to Ramirez. Ramirez trying to drive baseline, guard by Bedford. Out to Johnson. Johnson throws it up, no good. And Beckcourt tries to come up with it, loses it out of bounds. And it'll be Bigfork basketball as Edgerton will come in for Grindy with 30 seconds to go and counting here in the third quarter. Schneller will bring it across the timeline. And she tried to hit Benz, but Benz was covered up by Beckcourt and Day, and she traveled on the play. It'll be turnover and Troy basketball. Talmadge will inbound to Day. Day finds Beckcourt in the corner. Beckcourt tries to launch a three, fakes it, goes up, and misses it, but rebounded by Schneller with 3.5 and counting. Feeds it up to Edgerton. Edgerton, oh, nearly gets the shot off, but it's late. 3 quarters in the books from here from Troy High School. It is the Bigfork Valkyries 57, the Troy Lady Trojans 14 on your Harvest Foods of Bigfork scoreboard. We'll be back with 1 minute with the fourth quarter, as looks like Bigfork's getting some subs into the ball game here from Troy, Montana. Be back momentarily with you. So substitutions in the ball game. Callie Martins comes in the ball game for Bigfork, along with Pizzola, Maggie Pizzola in the ball game. Just underway here in the fourth quarter as get some substitutions. Schneller with the basketball top of the key as Troy scored, 2-point bucket. And over the right side, Audrey Benz with the basketball. Feeds it out to Schneller. Schneller in the corner. Edgerton's three-point shot on the way. No good off of Pizzola. She tries to come up with a rebound. So Pizzola, number 15. Number 20 is Callie Martins in the ball game for Bigfork. Benz, Edgerton, and Schneller. Day with the basketball. Drives to the left side. Guarded there by Schneller in the corner. Looks to feed. Gives it Johnson. Saved there by Benz. Benz on the floor. Picks it up. It'll be, looks like it'll be a held ball, and it will be. So Bigfork got it. It'll be Bigfork basketball as the arrow points towards the Valkyries as Troy got the fourth quarter possession. Into the front court, Schneller over to Benz on the right side. Schneller top of the key, feeds it over to Maggie Pizzola on the right side. Martins in the corner, getting trapped and throws it away to Ramirez, but right out to Sneller. Sneller takes it back on the loose ball out to Benz, top of the key. Feeds it over to Callie Martins. Martins out to Benz. Benz looking underneath, finds it over to Schneller. Schneller right side driving up and out the backboard. Nice layup by, and a nice move by Heidi Scheller. 59-16 with 6:15 to go. Day, top of the key with the basketball for Troy. Launches a three from way out, and no good. Edgerton comes up with the rebound, gives it over to Martins, out to Benz. Benz will bring it across the timeline in the front court. Over to Schneller. Schneller on the right wing. Finds it just a bit too high for Callie Martins. Saylor might have been able to come up with that. Kaya Grindy comes to the ball game, along with Emma Barrett. Edgerton and Schneller will have a seat for Bigfork with 5:39 and counting here in the fourth quarter. Day across the timeline. They're going to call player control foul as number 22, Emma Johnson, tried to set a screen and sets him right back in the back. Something that's the second and third team foul. Over to Benz. Benz top of the key. Martins over to Pizzola. Grindy. Going to feed it. Oh! Had Emma Barrett wide open, and Grindy's passed just a bit high for Barrett. It'll be Troy basketball. Talmadge. In today, Day will bring it across the timeline. Reads it down the left side, finds Beckcourt, feeds her on the way to the basket, but she's unable to control it, stays it back in, but off of Bigfork, and that'll be off Martins, and it'll be Troy basketball with 4:45 to go here in the ball game. Day into Talmadge. Talmadge looking to drive, and they're going to call Barrett with a reach in, and that'll be her fourth, I believe. Yep, it is her fourth and third team foul on the Valkyries. Day inbounding, looking for Talmadge. Feeds it to Beckcourt. Beckcourt up and under, loses it, but gets it back. Throws up a three-pointer, nothing, way over the top of the backboard. Hits the stanchion on top, and that's out of bounds to Bigfork with 4 minutes and counting left in the ball game, and the Valkyries on the Harvest Food scoreboard lead 59-16. Barrett left side looking, pulls up for a jumper off the rim and no good, and rebounded by Ramirez. Up to Day. Day right side for Troy. Shut down by Grindy. Feeds underneath to Talmadge. Talmadge, and Day comes up with the loose ball. Day will feed out to Ramirez. Ramirez looking for Beckcourt. Beckcourt on the right side, on the right wing, looking, stole by Grindy. Grindy has Gay, goes around the back, up and right-handed layup. Oh, she misses it with Barrett on the rebound, puts it back up and in for the Valkyries. 61-16 as Barrett scores. His ball was shot by Grindy. Day with the basketball, top of the key. Feeds it over to Ramirez. Ramirez looking to drive right side, guarded by Pizzola. Ramirez trapped. Stolen away by Benz. Benz going to race up the court, but she's fouled in the backcourt by number 23, Talmadge. And that will be Caitlin Talmadge's fourth and fourth team foul. Saylor Martins will come in the ball game for Emma Barrett. So Benz with the basketball, top of the key, feeds it over to Rakaya Grindy. Grindy looking, feeds it out to Benz, top of the key, running the point over to Grindy. Grindy going to kick it out. No, she's going to take the shot off the rim and no good, but Martins comes up the rebound. Callie Martins, one of the smallest ones on the court, comes up with the rebound for the Valkyries, and she'll get 2 free throws, a chance to get in the books, as that is the third foul, number 22, Emma Johnson. Callie Johnson, excuse me, Callie Martins line. First shot is up. Oh, rims in and out. And Isabel Ramirez comes in. And number 11, Riley Rader, will come in for Troy as well. Martins will get another free throw with 2 minutes to go here in the ball game. Martins shot up and good. So Callie Martins in the scorebook for the Valkyries. 62-16. Shot by Ramirez up off the rim, bounces up, and friendly roll scores for Troy. 62-18. Benz over to Grindy. Grindy Feeds it out to Benz. Benz will look, far corner. Pizzola, 3-point shot on the way off the rim and no good. And Martins, Callie comes up with the rebound but throws it away to Beckcourt as he was trying to hit Pizzola. Beckcourt up the left side and collides with Audrey Benz. Looked like a running back and a linebacker colliding there as Benz was trying to go for the basketball. It'll be the 4th team foul and the 4th foul on Audrey Benz. Into Talmadge. Talmadge from 3-point land. Nearly stolen by Grindy. And a held ball. And I can't see the arrow, but it looks like it's pointing towards Troy on the sideline. Just under 1 minute to go in the ball game as the clock continues to run. 62-18 on your Harvest Foods, a Bigfork scoreboard. Inbound to Talmadge. Nearly stolen away. Great hustle there by Benz. And that'll be off Bigfork as Benz knocks it out of bounds. It'll be Beckcourt inbounding it for Troy. And stolen by Pizzola. Feeds it out to Callie Martins. Grindy shot off and no good. Knocked out of bounds by Audrey Benz. And we got 20 seconds to go. And the clock is going to run out on this ball game. Feeds it up. Grindy will just bring in the front court and run it out. Out to Grindy. And it'll run out of bounds, and that'll be your ball game. So your final on your Harvest Foods of Bigfork scoreboard, it's 62 for the Bigfork Valkyries and 18 for the Lady Trojans of Troy. I'll be back momentarily with your full game stats from Troy, Montana. And then we'll get ready for the boys game after that. Once again, your final 62-18, the Valkyries beat the Lady Trojans from Troy, Montana. I'll be back momentarily with post game brought to you by the UPS Store. Well, once again, welcome back to Troy, Montana, Troy High School. And your post-game stats brought to you by the UPS Store, Bigfork, for all your shipping needs. Just go down to 439 Grand Drive in Bigfork. For printing and shipping needs, head out to the UPS Store. Brad Stodchill. A shout out to his daughter, Leslie Stodchill, Carly Stodchill, along with Reese Nissen, who was sitting on the bench in that last ball game. 62-18, your final, as the Valkyries wrap this one up here from, and I'll get your final stats here. For Troy, the Lady Trojans, it was backcourt was 6, 4 by Day, 6 by Caitlin Talmadge, for a total of 16. And the big game goes to 21 by, if I can operate this phone of mine, 21 points by Isabella Sanesteven, who hit 6 threes in this ball game. I think she only missed 1. So 6 threes, 1, 2, and then 1 for 2 from the free throw line, a total of 21. Sailor Martins came in and did a nice job. She had 4, 5 by Ansley Edgerton, 12 by Rakaya Grindy, who did a nice job. Callie Martins even got on the scoreboard, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 1 point. 4 by Schneller. Barrett had a nice ball game. She put up 13 and 2 by Meredith Better. So your final score is 62-18. The Valkyries take this one over the Lady Trojans from Troy High School here in Troy, Montana. The voice of the Vikes, the Vals, with you, James LaFontaine. I'm going to sign off on this ball game, and we're supposed to go at 5:30 with the boys, so I will sign off of this streaming. So if you get ready to listen to the boys' ball game, you're going to have to re-sign in to the live edition. So I have to stop the streaming on this one and sign up for a new one. So I'll bring you back. I'll be back here probably in about 10 minutes to bring you the boys' ball game and get the starters for both teams. Once again, thanks for listening to Valkyrie Basketball on BFSD Events on YouTube. We'll be back with the Vikings here in about 15-20 minutes from Troy High School. Thanks again for listening. Have a great night, and we look forward to you listening.